Right, in today's video I'm going to show you how far I've got with a bug. I'm going to show you some paint ideas I've been messing about with. I've probably made too good a job of that. How to do some stuff and how not to do some stuff. I think it's dead. I'm also going to show you that you don't need a big budget, all the tools, or even a really good workshop. This is my shed floor because this shed was actually built on a layer, and that's the earth's crust moving and opening up. That crack goes all the way to the centre of the earth, I believe. One of the best things I've done in my life was actually building my race car and actually drag racing it. Not so much for the racing, but more for the people I met and the things we got up to. VW people are a special sort of people. Somebody who takes a 40 horsepower vehicle and makes it go really fast and races it is the sort of person I want to hang around with. So one of the main reasons for getting the bug back on the road again is to be able to hang out with these eccentric people like myself, and the other is to actually inspire people to have a go and do stuff no matter what resources you have. I've noticed there's a new generation of VWs emerging at the moment. They're younger people who weren't originally into like back in the day, and they've probably been inspired by their parents or seeing older VWs like myself. So I think I'm in a good position to be able to inspire these generations and teach people who haven't really had the experience and knowledge of VWs that I've had. And of course I think outside the box quite a bit and am creative, so I might be able to inspire people with some ideas, even with my mistakes and not so good ideas. And doing what I'm doing with the bug at the moment, I'm really enjoying, because it's really taken me back to a time when I was young and I did used to do this every spare moment I had, and I didn't have the money or resources, so I did have to do everything on a budget like I'm doing now. And back in that time in the UK, some people had even less resources than me. Space is limited over there, and people would do major repairs and actually paint their cars in the street. They'd cover up the cars adjacent to them and go to town with a rattle can. And also, this was my first car in Australia, and I really had a very limited budget there, and the workshop way worse than this. I was going out on road tests to Mick Motors to get parts for it, and then going home with them on the bus and working on the bug like that. And this is another reason I'm not really making a great job of doing all this and actually doing it on the cheap, quickly, on the budget, is because this is what that car reminds me of, was that time in my life when I first got to the country, and I'm recreating that feeling with the bug the way it is now. And of course it had bad paintwork to start with, it was crap, and it's always been like that. So that is part of this car's history. Paintwork, even crap paintwork, gives it character and tells you the history of a car. So that's why I'm not that bothered about going to town and making a real good job of this at the moment. And plus I'm in a hurry to get on the road. So VWs are not so much a car, but more a way of life. Right, I did get carried away yesterday and I stripped it down quite a bit so that I can paint everything, make it all nice and see what needs doing and stuff. So there's a rust hole in the front there, which you've seen. But at this stage I'm just going to see what bits need doing, tackle the horrible bits first, and then each bit will get nicer as I do it, and easier and more fun if I get all the shit bits done first. Like this, we're going to attack this now and see what horrors are under there. Right, goggles, gloves, and zip wheel, and knackered grinder, which is about to go up in flames. It hasn't done yet, but it will do at some point. Beetle. It's struggling. Actually, that's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought that was going to be way worse than that. That'll probably be a bit worse down the bottom there, but this is something I can repair quite easy. Oh, the weather's about to die. Here it goes. I think it's dead. Let's unplug it. Probably a good idea. Oh, that stinks. I've repaired that bit there, just put a little bit of bog on it. There's quite a bit of bog around the wings and stuff like that. That's the biggest problem with this car. 20 years ago the paint was crap. It's actually done well to get as far as it's got now. So really I'd love to actually strip the whole thing and paint it properly, but I'm not in a position to do that. I want to get it on the road as soon as I can. It's going to get beaten up again, so maybe in a few years time it can have a proper paint job. So I've repaired this wing. I was just going to, if I was going to go for the beaten up patina look, I was going to leave that, but I'm not. I'm going to actually properly use some proper filler primer, actually smooth all this out nicely and sort of get that done a bit better. Welded up holes there. I wasn't going to paint the roof, but it is all crazed and stuff like this. See, this is a point now, I've got to make a decision how far I'm going to go with it. I don't really want to end up painting the whole thing. It's just a tidy up, and it's sort of getting a bit out of hand. But I need to draw the line somewhere, otherwise I may as well just do a full restoration on it, and that's not the idea of this. Seeing there's stuff like this as well, that's from the really crap paint job it originally had, and I really don't want to be painting inside. I love the yellow. I'd love all that in there yellow as well, because when you're driving you do see it all, and it's your comfort zone type thing. And just painting everything black, I think it's a cop out, and it does look crap and feel crap, so I want to keep as much yellow as I can. So I don't know if I've shown you this, I've welded up the heater channels, patched them up in the front there. It's probably going to need heater channels replacing in a few years time if I keep abusing it, driving it through the sea and stuff like that. I've put stone guard all in here, all in here, all in the back there. I've sorted out all the horrible bits of paint which are falling off on the bodywork, which wouldn't have been a problem, but it was blue underneath, and blue and yellow I think is disgusting. So I just wanted to get rid of the blue. I'd quite happily get it on the road like this in primer like that, but that's not going to happen. I'm going to do everything like I've done that door there, and that's going to look really cool, along with graphics as well. And I might even do some fake patina on it. I don't think so though, because I think that would just piss me off because it'll look manky all the time. But I'm really pleased with how it's going, and I haven't spent a lot of time or effort or money doing it. I've spent a fair bit, but to actually get a proper paint job, especially on something like this, which is, it's not straight bodywork, it's got heaps of bog in it. It was poor bodywork to start with. But I've got all the crap stuff done, like the welding, and I've really got a lot of the bodywork and stuff tidied up. So now it's all just good stuff, like trying to get it painted nice and putting all the bits and pieces back on it and cleaning everything up and modifying stuff maybe at the same time. So I'm really pleased with how that door came out. I've actually gone over it with wet and dry to dull it down so it's not shiny, because I don't really want the car to be shiny. Like, it's not good bodywork, and shininess just shows that off. So I've flattened it down a bit, but I really like the orange highlights. They're absolutely really cool. If I was to actually paint this car properly, prep it properly, and spend time doing a nice paint job in a proper environment, my ideal choice would be metallic yellow or gold or metal flake gold. But this is a budget paint job with aerosols, and that's not going to happen. So that's sort of give it a golden colour, and it's a beach buggy. It needs to be bright, it needs to be gold, it needs to be sunny. I said previously that I was inspired by a YouTube video on doing the paint work, which I was, and that was a patina paint job. So I've been playing about with that sort of thing and giving that a go. So I filmed a lot of it, but you're not going to see that now. So I may do a separate video all about how I did this and come about where I got to with it. So what I've done is I've cleaned the door up, I've welded up the trim holes, and there was a little split here which I've welded, and I've filled it and flattened it with a bit of bog. Gone over it with some 240 and some wet and dry, not really to get it a nice smooth surface, just basically to get rid of any crap what's in the paint which might react when I paint it. This isn't a restoration, this is just a quick, easy, cheap paint job, and imperfections are actually going to help it. I've never done this before. I've only just seen videos of people doing it in various techniques. So we're going to give it a go and wing it, but I'm pretty sure I can pull it off. So I'm making this up as I go. I think I'm pleased with that. It's very hard to tell. Right, this is a bit I've been looking forward to. So this is what we've got. I'm really happy with this. And with this, it's a really cool effect. The mustard's actually stained the white as well and give it a sort of yellowy thing. That's pretty cool. But this isn't actually the finished rust look. It's going to get some brown added to this to make it look a little bit more rusty. Oh, PPE. I've probably made too good a job of that, but I had to sort of get a lot on to get the coverage right. As I keep saying, it's just a test piece, but it's probably a test piece I'm going to use because I really quite like it. And I also got inspired by some other videos and stuff people have done to cars. So I gave that a go too. So these videos, they're all about practicing different techniques to get an idea of what they're going to look like and how to do them and how much work's involved and whether it's worth it or not. And to show you guys a thing or two about how it's done. So today I'm going to be practicing cartoon drawing or manga drawing, which makes a car look like it's actually drawn. At the end of the day, I really want the car to be yellow because my first Baja Bug was yellow. This was my first Baja Bug in this country, which is yellow, and I really want to keep the yellow. I really like taxi stripes. I'm probably going to do them as well. It might be a little bit too much with the cartoon drawing as well. I'm not sure yet, but for now we're going to put the highlights on and take it from there. Right, let's go. I'm totally winging this, by the way. Oh, that's probably a bit dark. That's very dark. That's probably not going to work. I'm going to go with it though. Actually what I could do is I could go over it with a bit of yellow. So I've gone over it with another bit of yellow. It's a lot lighter now, but it's still got them sort of orangey highlights, which is sort of what I'm going after, I reckon. What I did work out with the patina stuff was to do the yellow first, to put a yellow base coat down like now rather than actually the brown base coat, because it was just too dark to get the yellow on top of. So if I was to do that style again, what I do is I put a yellow base coat down like this, and then I'd put the brown and the black around where I wanted the patina and do it that way around. Because I tried putting yellow on it and there was just too much paint on there. I couldn't wipe it off with the mustard and it was a mess. So I stripped it down and we're going to do it again this way. But I'm probably not going to do the patina. That's going to be too time consuming and it would just look crap unless I go to town and really do it properly with an airbrush and stuff like that. And I really don't want to spend that amount of time on this paint job at this stage. I think it's really cool like this, and I want to leave it like this. It's probably how it's going to be on the car, I reckon, maybe with something different here as well. But the idea of this video is to try different things and try different techniques. So I think doing more on it, it's going to be over the top, but we're going to give it a go, see what it looks like. This is my bear door, so it doesn't matter, we're just going to have a go. Right, where do I start? I reckon I start by doing this. Yeah, I really don't know. I really don't know. I don't think I'm going to do that on the car. At the end of the day, I think the patina would have really got to me. It would have made the car look manky and it would have bugged me. So I decided not to go with that. But I can still do that in the future. And the cartoon drawing, well, it will just look over the top and it will look silly on a car of this age, because I really want to keep the vintage looks of this bug, because it's a vintage bug. It's 57 years old now. So that's that then. That's where I'm up to at the moment. It's actually really cool having me shed and that just there, because I can actually do stuff and then sit on the veranda with a beer or whatever and look at it and see what I need to do, if I like it or not, and stuff like that. So whatever I'm doing, go away. Whatever I'm doing, I'm going to keep it the vintage look it's got, whatever paint job I do. And I can sit up here a little bit longer, give it some more thought. I might even make that paintwork look a little bit worn and look a little bit older. So that's where I'm up to right now. So make sure you subscribe, like and comment and all that good stuff. And of course, have a great day.